Hi, my name is Aliza and I'm recording this for TorahExchange.com. This week's Parashat is Parashat Noach, and we were introduced to the character of Noach at the end of last week's Parashat in Bereshit, where Noach found favor in the eyes of God amongst people who were kind of destined for destruction. And Noach is called this Ish Sadiq, and he's whole in his generation, and he followed after God. And then Hashem comes to Noach and basically commands him to build a teva as he plans on destroying the world. And Noach does so and enters into the teva and puts in the teva all these animals. And then we see in the beginning of Sheni, where it says Vayivo Noach ubanav ishto shnei banav ito el teva mipnei mabul, that he entered into the teva because of the waters of the Mabul. So Rashi points on this, makes the point on this, that mipnei mabul, that he actually entered in because of the waters. Then he wasn't going to enter in until he saw that the water actually started, because it had an aspect of katnei emunah, that he was lacking a little bit of faith that the Mabul was actually going to come, which is interesting, just like a general approach that Chazal takes about our leaders, and we see in the Chumash as well, that they're not always perfect. They have aspects that make them relatable to our lives as well, and we'll relate something else moving forward. But then they enter in, the Mabul lasts for 40 days. They stay in the teva for a total of around a year. And then when they leave the teva, they offer a korban to Hashem. And Hashem says that he realizes now that a man is bad from his youth, ra min orav, and he plans, and v'lo osif od lakot et kol chai kasher asiti, and he was never going to do something like that again. And he actually formalized this into a brit with Noach. And he says, "Et kashinat tzibah." I put this rainbow in the sky, right? That's why we make a bracha when we see a rainbow. We say, like, Hashem remembered his brit. Vayiti ulaot brit beini u'benaretz. So he put this upturned bow with showing that he does not intend to harm Bnei Israel anymore. Like, I'm done. I'm putting my bow up. And then it says later, "Vayita kakeshet banan v'atiha l'skar brit olam bein halokim u'bein kol nefesh chaya." That Hashem uses this keshet in the clouds, that he's going to see it, and then he'll remember this brit. So an interesting question is brought by Rav Chaim Shmulevitz, which is that what is the significance behind Hashem needing a reminder? Isn't Hashem perfect? Why does Hashem need to be reminded of something? Does he forget anything? And it also comes up a lot in the liturgy in Yom Noraim, where Hashem sees the shofar and he remembers things, or remembers Akedat Yitzchak, or remembers the Zchut Avot. But doesn't Hashem remember things always? So Rav Chaim Shmulevitz tells us that Hashem is teaching a lesson to us about what it means to experience a moment of realization, of inspiration, and then what you're supposed to do from then on. And he says that when we experience something that really that wakes us up, literally, hishat is the word that he used, we then decide that we're going to channel into an oat. We're going to channel into something that's going to remind us of the point that we got to. So when Hashem originally decided that he was going to that he's going to destroy the world, and then he realized that man is ra min orav, and it's not worthy to destroy the world again, instead of just saying that, okay, this is how I've decided, he channels it into an oath between us and God to show us that this is what we should do when we have this moment of realization. Just like Noach at the beginning, who was perhaps had aspects of katnei emunah, had aspects of things that he was doubting, and now he experienced the Mabul and saw this revelation of God in a very obvious way. And now Hashem tells Noach, you also should put it into something perhaps physical, or just something that you could point to and say, this was sourced in a moment of inspiration that I had. And I think this lesson is very relevant to us, especially coming right after the Yom Noraim, after Sukkot, where we just experience a lot of moments, perhaps where we realize, oh, that's where the direction I want to go, and this is something that's important to me. This is something that's really relevant to my life that I didn't realize so much before. So we're being charged by Hashem to kind of walk in His ways in this sense, just as Hashem Hashem put an oat in the sky to remind him of a goal that he had. So too, we should emulate God and pick out things that we could point to and say, wow, that reminds me of a goal that I had, an aspiration that I was trying to strive to achieve. And I hope that we should be able to accomplish the goals we set out for ourselves and have reminders to keep us going along the way. Have a great Shabbos.